Before we hop into the video, we are doing a giveaway. We're giving away $1,000 worth of Amazon gift cards and an iPhone 11 Pro. To enter, make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment down below something interesting that you found in the video. And to better your chances, come back to future videos that we release and do the same thing over there.
Most expensive shoes NBA players played in that made them go broke. Shoe companies and sneaker culture have played an increasingly important role in the growth of the NBA over the past 30 years. Since the release of the Air Jordan 1 in 1985, basketball shoes have become an icon of the popular culture and fashion worlds. With the commercial success of both basketball and athletic brands over the decades, the fandom around signature brand name sneakers is almost as big as the fandom around basketball itself. At the same time, signature model shoes, player exclusives, and endorsement deals from brands have created entirely new streams of revenue for players and expanded the commercial reaches of the game. According to an article from Forbes, high-profile stars like LeBron James and Kevin Durant make about a third of their income from shoe deals, next to salaries and other endorsements. With shoes playing a bigger role than ever in the NBA, players are willing to spend big money on rare and coveted shoes. Here are a few players who take their shoes seriously. PJ Tucker. Houston Rockets forward PJ Tucker is considered by most players to be the undisputed king of rare sneakers in the NBA. In fact, most fans know him better for his shoe game rather than his actual game on the court. The 14-year veteran has a reputation for both owning and playing in some of the most exclusive shoes in the world, including unreleased Jordans, rare LeBrons, and current player editions. Tucker has been one of the most valuable role players in the league in recent years, providing his team's defensive intensity and energy on both sides of the court. In addition to giving solid minutes to the Rockets, Tucker owns a massive collection of sneakers, 5,000. So big that he partnered with eBay to build an entire house to keep them in. In an interview with Footwear News, PJ admitted to having spent over 30 grand on a pair of shoes, and said he's done it more than once. Quote, "The most I've ever done was 40,000 to 50,000. I bought a pair of shoes for 30 grand, Tucker said on the show. I just bought a whole collection of Durant's old stuff, like old Seattle Sonics colors, the KD 1s, the All-Star shoes, and the KD 2s. Nike got a retro those KD 2s, end quote. Long live King PJ. Nick Young. PJ might hold the crown when it comes to his shoe game, but former NBA shooting guard Nick Young got attention for his choice of footwear when playing for the LA Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. In the mid-2010s, Nick Young's off-court style and on-court kicks earned him the nickname Swaggy P and a reputation as the league's resident hype beast. Whether it be rockin' designer brands, his engagement with Iggy Azalea, to wearing hyped-up kicks like the Nike X Supreme foam posits, Swaggy P represented the intersection of pop culture / streetwear with sports, and media outlets loved it. One of his better-known sneaker moments came in December of 2015, when Young was the first NBA player to wear a pair of $3,500 Adidas Yeezy Boost 750s on an actual NBA court against the Houston Rockets. Swaggy P did it 3 years later playing for the Warriors, busting out a pair of blush Yeezy 500s in a game against the Knicks. When Young posted a photo of himself playing in the Yeezys after the game, his teammate, Kevin Durant, said what was on most people's minds. Swaggy P may no longer be in the league after getting waived by the Nuggets in 2018, but at least he was able to get a ring with the Warriors the year before, and remind us that wearing Yeezys on a basketball court is a terrible idea. Fred VanVleet. Toronto Raptors point guard Fred VanVleet might not be the first player that comes to mind when you think about players with shoe game, but early in the 2018-2019 season, VanVleet turned heads in the sneaker community when he showed up to warm-ups wearing a rare pair of player exclusives made for a former teammate. VanVleet has been somewhat of a journeyman when it comes to shoe deals throughout his career. Since going into the league undrafted in 2016 and signing with the Raptors, former Wichita State guard has proven himself as a scorer and distributor under contracts with a few different brands. VanVleet first started out wearing Nikes before transitioning to Adidas, which he wore during his breakout title run with Toronto in 2019. setting a record for most three-pointers made coming off the bench, and even earning a Finals MVP vote. The following season, he was approached by the streetball brand And1 to become the face of the company and rock his signature model called the Attack 2.0. That didn't last long though. In November of 2020, ESPN's Nick DePaula reported that VanVleet had signed a multi-year contract with Li Ning, the Chinese company with endorsements from players like CJ McCollum, D'Angelo Russell, Adonis Haslam, and former star and future Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade. Back in 2018, VanVleet was spotted wearing the Nike Kobe 1 Protro DeMar DeRozan PE before warm-ups, which only dropped at select Houses of Hoops locations in New York, LA, and Toronto in limited amounts. The shoe featured an all-red patent leather upper with personal details for DeRozan like his number 10 jersey number on the heel, and the name of his team branded on the shoe's lace loops. The shoe retailed for $175 at select House of Hoops stores, but sold for as high as $1,800 on reseller sites like Flight Club and StockX. It was interesting to see VanVleet rocking his former teammates' shoes, especially during the same year the Raptors won their first title, and went further than they ever had before without their former franchise player, Montrezl Harrell. On top of being a force in the paint and the reigning Sixth Man of the Year in 2020, Lakers forward/center Montrezl Harrell is known for wearing some of the rarest and more unique shoes on an NBA court. The Lakers pulled off a shocker this offseason by signing Harrell in free agency, following a disappointing 2020 playoff campaign from him and his old team, the LA Clippers, in the bubble. With a hard-nosed big man like Harrell adding to an already imposing front court of Anthony Davis and Marc Gasol, LeBron's Lakers are favorites to repeat their title run while also holding the crown for best kicks on court this year with Trez in the rotation. As a sneaker free agent, Montrez had a diverse collection of shoes on the court, from vintage Jordans to N1s to Reeboks to custom one-of-one sneakers based on his favorite cartoons growing up. The big man is known for changing his kicks out at halftime and not being afraid to play in just about anything. Montrez showed off his massive collection in a video with the sneaker blog Nice Kicks in 2019, including some insane customs. Since then, he's signed with Reebok, but kept his unique style the same. Quote, "Everybody has something that draws to them, something they like to do. Mine is shoes and I like animation and cartoons." End quote. It's not known how much Montrez shelled out for customs like his Air Jordan 28 Simpsons, but he did show off a few pairs that would break the bank for most regular people. His off-white Air Jordan 1s sold out quickly online in 2017 and go for as high as $6,000 on different reseller websites. He also showed off a pair of custom Proud Family OVO Air Jordan 10s, which are pretty hard to find online in your size for under $400. Hard telling what Montrez pays for customs though. DeMar DeRozan. NBA fans remember DeMar DeRozan best for putting up all-star numbers with the Toronto Raptors in the regular season, but falling short to LeBron and the Cavs just about every postseason. But before DeRozan rose to the all-star level, he was getting nods from sneaker blogs for showing out in retro Jordans night after night, like the Air Jordans 3, 17, and 5. He would later represent the Nike Kobe line, sporting his idol's kicks more often in the latter half of the 2010s, and even getting a few player edition models. The all-red Kobe 1s and blue Kobe AD mids were a big hit with shoe enthusiasts and NBA players alike. When released to the general public a few years ago. But one of the best-known player editions was the Kobe 5 Protro, which came out in Silver Spurs colorway in September 2020. The shoes retailed for $180 at the time, but good luck finding a pair now for under $500 on eBay. Today, DeMar is still showing out in flashy player exclusives just about every night for the Spurs, and has one of the biggest sneaker collections in the NBA, even though PJ is still leagues ahead of him. Last year, he took a dig at the king of shoes on an Instagram story, saying, quote, "At PJ Tucker, keep posting shoes. I'ma show everybody who really is the shoe head when it comes to these kicks. I'll be playing it cool. You got another post to show off, and I'ma show off. Respectfully, LOL." End quote. Darren Fox. Sacramento Kings guard and rising star Darren Fox is making a name for himself for his defense, quickness, and skills as a passer. He's also known among sneakerheads for his love of high-top sneakers like the Kobe 9 and Air Jordan 28. The former Kentucky star point guard has shown a lot of promise on an otherwise unpromising Kings squad in his first 4 years. Through his first 3 years in the league, Fox averaged 16 points, 6 assists, and a field goal percentage of 45% before getting offered a $5 million $163 million max extension from the Kings this past season. Maybe it's from carrying the weight of his whole team. But Swipa the Fox has shown love for shoes with extra ankle support since his days balling out of Kentucky. The Kobe 9 and Air Jordan 28 have been staples of his rotation since college, and they go perfectly with his larger-than-life persona on and off the court. In 2018, Fox turned heads by breaking out the Nike Kobe 9 KRM EXT Red Mamba, an all-red Kobe model made to resemble the Red October Yeezy 2s that dropped the same year. Some resellers have them marked for as high as $1,000. Fox gained further traction in the sneaker community in 2019 with the release of his personal Nike Air Max 1s. The shoes feature the colors of different planets as a nod to Darren's interest in astronomy, and his nickname, Swipa, on the back of the heel. Final thoughts. NBA players have shown that they'll pay anything for rare and exclusive kicks, and why shouldn't they? It's not like they don't have millions of dollars to play with. Stay tuned to UpNext Sports for more NBA-related content.